Okay, I think we're live. I'm going to play a little chant as we approach noon hour. I want only thee, Lord. This is a chant written by Swami Kriyananda, and this weekend we celebrate his meeting of Paramahansa Yogananda. I want only thee, Lord, thee only thee. 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 Put this down. I want to check the time, and it's not quite 12 noon, but I'm going to start anyway. I'm going to read from Whispers from Eternity. This is Friday, 9/11. My goodness, how many years have passed since that fateful day. I think the life of America, the culture of America, has never been the same since. Well, it says my clock says 12 o'clock, so I guess I'm good to go. Yes, 9/11. How many years ago was that now? 20 minus 11? No, 20 minus 2001. Really, 19 years ago? My goodness, I bet you remember where you were on that day. On that day, the rest of the world's troubles came to America. And since that day, fear has been growing in the American consciousness. With fear has come polarization, controversy, dissension, divisiveness. It seems to keep growing. Americans have feared the loss of our culture, the loss of our prosperity, the loss of our security. And those fears have opened up chasms of gaps between many of us, who in former times might have been able to work out our differences because we trusted and respected one another. But fear is like a cancer, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. Well, let's turn to Whispers, and maybe we'll come back to this not as optimistic subject. All around me here in Seattle and along the West Coast, I think it's possibly hundreds of fires are burning. So this is a very curious time for us. But let's listen to something a little bit more hopeful. Number 126. Teach me to dream peace with the poppy petals. Teach me to descend as raindrops on thirsty soul flowers, showering them with my nectar name. Teach me to dream with the poppy petals, dreams of thy golden light and inner peace. O divine breath, blow with me as the little breath in all men, and as the vast breath of all living things. We are celebrating here this month the 100th anniversary of Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda's arrival in Boston Harbor 100 years ago, 1920, as he came from India to begin his true life's work. Other than his trip back to India in 1935 and 6, he remained in America for the rest of his life. He became a United States citizen. He planted seeds, primarily, most notably, most popularly, in his own life story, Autobiography of a Yogi, but in his work, which has gone out all through the world. Millions of people have read that book. Millions of people have been inspired in one way or the other, in one direction or another. But he is truly a way shower for our times. Swami Kriyananda, who arrived at his doorstep in 1948 at age 22, came in the last 3.5 years of Yogananda's life. So he didn't spend a long time in earth years with Yogananda, but then neither did Jesus' disciples. His ministry was also about 3 years. And so we celebrate Swami Kriyananda as, in fact, really the foremost direct disciple who has done the most in public terms to spread the message of Kriya, the message of self-realization, but a great many core themes, including that the spiritual path is not at odds with science, not at odds with reason, not at odds with a successful material life. Our planet desperately needs to acquire an inner life to balance the aggressive materiality and the imbalance we find in consciousness and action, in our actions, in this world we live in today. The poppy petals of peace that Master, or as we call our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, offers to us, offers to us the natural balance to a life of chaos and a life that lacks peace all around us. He predicted, all of these things. He said there would be very troubled times, great economic devastation and war. Not one place would be safe on this earth. It's interesting that it's not just the cities where we're seeing riots, but even in small towns, there are confrontations between one side and the other. The possibility of respect, trust, and dialogue seems to have evaporated. And I don't think it matters who wins the upcoming election in America. The issues and the energies and the consciousness will simply continue. The only security that truly lies in this world, in this brief life, lies within ourselves. As Jesus well put it, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The poppy petals of inner peace lie within us. And as millions of people develop the habit of meditation, then millions of people will find the inner resources, the vitality, the inspiration, the intuition to cope with difficult circumstances. And even if there were no difficult circumstances, to find that rest in Thee for which we were created. This is the hope for a better world. And communities of people, whether residential communities, virtual communities online, or faith communities, whatever, what we see in the divisiveness of these times, the polarization, is the need for people who share something meaningful to help one another. I don't mean to turn their backs on the rest of the world, that's not the point, but otherwise in this situation in which we find ourselves, that fear grows like a cancer. Without support and help to remain centered, remain peaceful, to remain thinking about the needs of other people. Life of meditation, and especially the power. There is a power. We call it grace. There is a spiritual power that comes when we are still and lift our eyes and open our hearts in faith and knowing, even if in the beginning it's but an affirmation and a mere belief. But with time and practice comes the gnosis, the knowing, which is what true faith is, as opposed to belief, that we are well, that no matter what may happen in our outer life, that we remain content and know that all things can be for the better. This weekend at Ananda in Bothell, at the Blue Lotus Temple, we celebrate Swamiji's meeting of Yogananda in 1948 at our 10 a.m. Sunday service. And we'll have a special video of his life to share with you and other inspiration. So we will return in our whispers on Monday, at which point we'll be broadcasting from Camino Island. But today I'm here at the Ananda community in Linwood. Okay.